What is going on, everybody? Welcome to opening day here in downtown Detroit. Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Spencer, let me just say it this way. My name is Neal Ruhl. This guy over here is D-Mac, Darren McCarty. You guys know Spencer. He's feeling it already.
One hat.
We got some beers now, we're looking at some fun.
Now let me update it. We got Westy on the ones and twos today because the Woodward heavyweights will be out and about in the public. So if you're downtown, look for the FB crew. They're filming, they're drinking, they're partying. So that's how we roll Big D Energy. Neal and I wasn't going to get in the festivities. Neal just getting back, was so excited to jump back on the boat after he heard what Easy was doing with my clock. So the whole thing is that's what we're doing. We got the whole Lady James family Birmingham roast. It's great to see everybody out of the office and enjoying downtown on this opening day. It's really driving in, Neal, got that vibe. And I don't know about you. I gotta admit it before he calls me out on the bottom line today. I text Mize at like 12:30, 12:45 and told him, bro, I didn't know I missed baseball this much till watching the Angels game last night against Houston, and it was just that vibe as a baseball fan. And my little kid love of my favorite sport is sort of back, so the vibe, I got it. I got the baseball bug. Now, we're gonna talk about, I'm sure, about predictions on the season and what we're getting into, but I don't care. This is all about the vibe again and being downtown with the people of Detroit and all the Detroit Tiger fans.
Absolutely. We are back in business. As you can see here, we are live at Detroit Music Hall. It is bumping. There's a long line to get in. You see in our little mix cam setup here, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, you see what the scene is. It is absolutely packed up in here.
DJ Godfather in the house.
DJ Godfather is in the house here, and it is. It's everything that it was before. We are, and look, we reach these little milestones all the time where we're like, oh, I remember what that was like. Oh, I remember. We are back, baby. We are back.
And you know what I like, Neal, and I noticed this last weekend was Hash Bash up in Ann Arbor, the 50th anniversary, but I noticed the vibe. People sort of through what we've all been through. It's more of this appreciation where I always say destination is an oasis, but it's a journey, and that's what I feel down here today. Everybody's here for a good time. And that vibe is right here as we're jamming it out, talking sports, getting ready for Tiger baseball.
No, absolutely. And look, you guys know how this works, right? Like it'll be a clown show to a good degree. Like there's no debating that. There's no refuting that.
Ain't no party like a Detroit party, baby.
Absolutely, and it's going to be like that. And we're going to have, Tony Paul from the Detroit News. He might make it over here. He might not. He might. He might not. I don't know. I've been told the line is as long as hell to get in. But through all that being said, baseball is back. The hope is back, and we'll get. Look, D-Mac, we'll touch it all today. We'll get baseball geeky for a little bit. Yeah. We'll talk about the party festivities for a little bit, your Tigers' expectations and all that stuff. But we are going wall-to-wall baseball here today for the most part.
As we did, and yesterday we did a little wall-to-wall Lions talk. So here we are, opening day. It's actually a little bit nicer than I thought it'd be. It's nice that's the rain, and I think everybody's braving sort of the weather. First time I thought too, Neal, coming down is like, okay, I got a golf thing on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Even in this weather.
Even in this weather?
Yeah.
All right. And follow along on our YouTube channel. If you're in our YouTube chat thread, you can jump in on there as well. Get your thoughts out there. Our social media handles are down at the bottom of the screen, so you can send us tweets. However you want to get involved, you can do it. We'll read a lot of them. War by Vandal says, it's my birthday. Any chance I get a birthday shout out? Why not? I'm having drinks.
What's his name?
It's War by Vandal. It says, can I get a birthday shout out?
Happy
Absolutely.
birthday,
Yep.
War by Vandal. From the Big D Energy crew here at opening day, downtown Detroit.
Gromit 0237, go get them, Tigers. And we're going to get into that. There is no doubt about that. And Jake Wagoner, Neal's back. No more running trains and slapping meat. I don't know what that is in reference to, but D-Mac and I were talking about that before the show. We're just going to move on. We're just going to move on.
The pontoons in the shop. It's getting detailed.
Yes.
But Easy and my clock, thank you. My clock is saved 17 games.
Yeah.
We still got 17 left in the line.
We're not going to discuss it. We're not going to revisit it. We're not going to go back to it. We are just moving on.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah, no, I'm good with it. I'm good with it, Dad.
Absolutely. So, again, happy to have you all with us. Baseball is back. Opening day is back in effect for the first time. And I think we forget that we haven't had this full on for 3 years. 2019 was the last time, so we haven't had this for a while, D-Mac, and the people are thirsty for it in more ways than one.
Well, exactly, the thirst here, and it's pretty cool because downtown is lit up, and you look at this as sort of just the beginning of what's to come. If the culmination to one of the journeys is the draft party. So this is sort of a mini atmosphere of what it'll be like, because obviously more people come in for the NFL draft, and that's not for a few years, but Detroit knows how to party.
Right.
And this more vibe reminds me of, yes, opening days, but just more of the city full, like when we had Stanley Cup parades and stuff like this, because everybody just wanted to get out, and I think we all, no matter where you're from, Tiger Baseball brings us together. Not so much in the media, not so much, in text because it's an older sport, but it's that the family will go out to, the family events. I know walking downtown before coming in to do the broadcast, just seeing so many families. And it reminded me of growing up and when my parents would take us to Tiger Stadium.
Right. No, it is like that, no question. And Chuck Brewer says it's probably for the best, Neal, that we just move on. I'm not talking about it. I'm not asking about it. I don't want to know about it. I wasn't involved with it. I'm not going to be involved with it. It's over. All right? So and Chuck, I know you. I know Chuck a little bit. I know he's not coming from this place. But before the rest of you get this wise idea that you're going to try to weave it back in there and get us to we're not doing it. We are not doing it. I'm not falling for it. I'm too smart for that, D-Mac.
Right, exactly. And we've come to the conclusion that it's Easy's fault. So you know what? He can't defend himself, so we got to move on.
Right, absolutely. So, yeah, we're doing it. I see D-Mac here. Some people are talking about this old questionable tees hoodie that he's got on right now.
Yeah, right there, baby. You like that? Designed by Scotty Questions and Miko, and I love it. I actually picked out the Tiger myself.
Yeah.
No, so, hey, you like the back, too?
He's got it personalized. He's got the juice to pull that one off.
Well, I just wanted it because nobody can steal it, or else I know it's mine, or else, somebody else wearing it's one-on-one. But, yeah, no, and that's the great thing, too. You look around the crowd, we got people in head to toe in Tiger suits and hats and everything else, and I think it's a great day to the Detroit Tiger with the old English D and everything like that. It doesn't matter. That's unilateral, universal. That carries the city throughout. And I think that's what binds everybody together too, no matter if you're a big baseball fan or not.
Absolutely. And we got one here. Doughboy Steve. Snob Neal with the Two Furnace House is back. And you know what? Hey, I was in Washington, D.C. with the family for spring break. You notice I get back and gas prices are down. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just saying I was in Washington, D.C., and gas prices are down.
Well, appreciate you, Neal. Whatever you did, whatever you had to do, you were doing some business for the people, as you always do, whether it's behind the microphone or it's in your travels. You're always thinking of other people.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and take credit for that because it's not a coincidence. I'll just leave it at that. No, but I'm happy to be back here. It is great. This is great, and you guys know that. For those of you that are watching right now, if you're stuck at the office, and we got Alex Westfall here on the ones and twos. Alex, question for you, brother. We got the YouTube poll capabilities, right? We can put up YouTube polls? All right, absolutely. Okay, here's my first one I got for people. If you are at work right now, what's the chances that you're getting anything done? 0% or 0%? So that'll be our first YouTube chat poll. If you're watching us right now and you're stuck at work, and a lot of my friends were stuck at work here today, and I know they're watching, so I just want to know, what's the chances you're getting any kind of work done? 0% or 0%? Alex Westfall will put that on the YouTube chat poll. We got Stick walking around here. You know what Stick is doing? It's taking him back to the nightclub days because he's jumping. You guys hear the beats going, DJ Godfather's in the house.
Hey, you know what? It threw me back 20 years when I walked up to the door at Blue or something like this, and Stick was the doorman because he shuffled me in the back way move the gate and stuff like this. I was like, hold the habits die hard, hey, bro? So everybody doing their part, but Stick, one of the hardest working men, making it go. I walked in, I said, how'd it go this morning? He said, great, just 2 more to go. So shout out to everybody behind the scenes making it the Woodward Sports Network machine run. And the best part, Neal, what I love is there's a vibe of work hard, play hard. Like everybody's doing their job. I look forward to seeing what the Woodward heavyweights come up with. Last time we let
these guys.
Last time, if you haven't seen it, we let them go on the streets. They were asking people about the Lions players who actually were staff members of Woodward Sports. So hilarious. So I'm a big fan of those two, Easy and Spency's ours. So I guess Easy's like that cousin, right? I guess he's looking up for his cousin. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys get out there on opening day.
Absolutely. Robert Colosia says, this is a big D energy. I'm talking about the DJ, the party tent, opening day with the prognosticators picking the Tigers to make the playoffs. Positive vibes going into the weekend. And we're going to get into the Tigers discussion. I'm not quite there yet, but DMAC is. And we'll have it out a little bit.
I'm there more than you are.
Okay, that's a fair way to put it. We got Roger Castillo, Woodward Sports' new Tigers beat reporter. So if you're not following Woodward Sports on the social media platforms, do that. Roger's very talented, and he's going to be with us all baseball season long. It's more than a job to him; it's a passion.
Well, we had him on Tuesday, I believe, and he showed you how much the love of the game, and I appreciate it when it's. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of like a Detroit Mize. You know what I mean? Just as far as his knowledge and love of the baseball. Because you bring up baseball to Mize, and he'll tell you about the Mets back and whatever else. So I love it to talk baseball with anybody because it's sort of a dying art, especially in this town.
Lewis M. says, watching this network has made me hate Florida more and more. I miss the Detroit energy. It's boring, LOL. Nobody cares about the Rays, even when they are in the playoffs here. And that's where it goes back to. And look, I'm leaning a little bit different way about the Tigers than a lot of people are, and I get that. I'm still mindful, though, that they are improved. But with all that being said, it doesn't matter because of this. And we got the wide cam and everything like that. This is what it's all. And it didn't matter if this team was a 60-win team, a 100-win team. The energy's always been the same, and that's why. And it gets slept on, D-Mac. It does. It gets slept on around Major League Baseball. This is the best opening day city in America and Canada. The best. And look, I've been around to the baseball towns. You've been around to the baseball towns. St. Louis, cool little story they have there. Cincinnati, it's cute. They like baseball in Cincinnati a lot. This is the best. Period. End of story.
Well, and then other people from other places would say, yeah, but this is the only day you guys go out, right? People in Chicago and Wrigleyville and stuff, they take arms with that or whatever, but by doubt, this is one of my favorite events in the city out of the whole year, that to be able to come down. And I think that the big thing too, Neal, is like last year we broadcast from the brass rail, but it was different having 8,000 fans, having no fans, the rules were different. Now it seems as normal as it was before, and this is the vibe that I think everybody's missed.
No, it is, and there is no question about it, and it's great to have everybody back. It's great to have baseball back, and here we are. I love it. You all love it. We're going to get deep into the baseball discussion about this Detroit Tigers team, and we're going to get it rolling. There is no doubt about that, but let me tell you about Syntron. And look, when you do the mobile broadcast, when you do it on site, you lose some things, and the Syntron Read was one of them. But you know what? I know it is the premier energy drink on the energy drink market today. I know that it has balanced hydration. I know that it has great taste. I know that it's an official partner with the Detroit Pistons, with Detroit City FC, with the Detroit Red Wings. It's exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena and Keyworth Stadium, as you found out.
I know that because I've drank it at both.
Yeah, as you found out this weekend. You do know that. Look, Syntron's here. They're a part of all this. You guys are sitting here. You see what's going on here in Detroit. Syntron's weaving their way into the fabric of Detroit. And look, we all love the energy drinks and the revitalizer shots and all that stuff, but the bottom line is Syntron tastes great. That's all I got for you guys. There's some cute taglines, there's all that stuff. The bottom line is you drink it, it tastes good. That's it, and it's part of Detroit.
Drink it, live it with Syntron.
Drink it, live it with Syntron.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Syntron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Syntron is your top choice.
Ain't no party like a Detroit party. It's opening day live downtown with Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Detroit Music Hall. We're in downtown Detroit. It is opening day. The Tigers and the Chicago White Sox getting ready to do battle as we're taking right up basically to the first pitch. My name is Neal. Ruhl, that guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. We got Sam Flannel in the house. We got Alex Westfall, our guest. Our guest of ones and twos, a producer here on site. The Woodward Heavyweights are around downtown. Make sure you follow Woodward Sports on all the social media channels to get the best content. And, it is that, D-Mac, it is opening day. Erod on the bump today for the Chicago White Sox, opposed by Lucas Giolito. And, we do got to get into the baseball stuff just a little bit. And you and I talked throughout the week, 30,000 foot. I don't want to break down game one of 162 here, but what about 30,000 foot as you look at this Tigers team this year? What's your take, D-Mac?
My take is there's some improvement. My big take is that I see an engaged Miguel Cabrera going. It's almost like he's made his decision that he's going to be the DH, not somebody making the decision for him. I think the young guys, Spencer Torkelson and Riley Greene, obviously disappointing with Greene's injury, but excited that Alavila sort of had the handcuffs taken off him and you were able to get a guy like Austin Meadows. I'm excited to see Tucker Barnard behind the plate, Javi Baez. I'm excited to see this lineup. Now, still baby steps and stuff like this. I guess if I'm going to throw some sort of clock and it's more like a stopwatch on it, it might be 40 games, right, to see, because it all comes down in this league, in this division, pitching. So, Tarek Skubal, I'm expecting a big year, big things. Hopefully he can continue on what he did in spring training with the strikeouts and stuff like this. And down on, he let the most home runs against last year, so that'll improve. But it's an excitement because everybody's excited. And I think, number one, Neal, it's because Miggy's excited from everything you hear. And engage Miguel Cabrera, you're so much further ahead. That's just like an engaged Miguel Cabrera is like having Sergei Fedorov in your lineup. It gives you it's almost not fair sometimes.
And I know we're going to talk about Miguel, I think, in a little more depth a little bit later on in the show. But see, here's where I hesitate. Somebody on the YouTube chat thread said, Neal, we know that you're pessimistic. That's just the way you are. No, it's not that. For me, it's this with Miguel Cabrera. And we had this discussion a couple weeks ago, D-Mac, where I want respect on Miggy's name at all times. Because no matter how, you knew this was going to end badly, contract-wise. It was going to end badly, but that's the way the market was. That was the price of playing poker and getting a guy like Miguel Cabrera under the fold long-term. You knew that's how. I want respect on Miguel Cabrera's name at all times. Regardless of what happens this year into next year, I want that. And my only issue is like when people say that, like an engaged Miguel Cabrera, D-Mac. Miguel Cabrera is always engaged. He never took games off. You know what I'm saying? He's a warrior out there. And I know that's not where you're coming from.
The engagement that I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is what cures any eyeballs on a bad contract or anything, right? Winning does. And
people deal with it better, right?
What I mean by an engaged Miguel Cabrera is the fact that he's engaged with his teammates. He was always going to go out and hit 300 and do whatever, but we know sometimes he's maybe the effort's not there or not lackadaisical at times and stuff like this. I just mean more interaction, engaged in the process. I think that what A.J. Hinch realized is that he's going to squeeze everything he can out of Miguel Cabrera, and that's not necessarily as bad. That's out of his brain, right? It's out of his brain to help develop. Now, you can't tell me, I know that Torkelson was slated to start up here, but you still have to produce. And the fact that Miguel Cabrera, as that veteran guy, as being Miguel Cabrera, has openly embraced Spencer Torkelson, that helps with the kid's confidence. That helps everything else. So that's what I want to see, the engagement. How does he make Javi Baez a better hitter as far as controlling the strike zone? Because we know he's a wild swinger and strikes out a lot, but do we see these things? Because that means that engaged, he's working with guys behind the scenes that we don't know, right? It just seems like if these guys believe that they have something. And again, to me, it comes down to pitching. It's a big blow that Cisnero went down, right? But they have some guys in there that are looking to prove themselves. But today's game's a little bit different, right? Because the starters go 5, maybe 6. And so it's all about your bullpen. That's so much more valuable.
More than it ever has
More
been.
than it ever has been. You remember how we used to say, if you want to make it to pro baseball, be a left-handed relief pitcher. You got to face one guy, whatever like this. They changed the rules but now that's the case because you're a commodity. You know, like they need a guy, and to have a guy on this roster like a Tyler Alexander that'll pitch anytime, anywhere. You can throw him for 2 or 3 innings out of the pen. He's comfortable with whatever he wants to be part of the team. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the continuity of this team, but to me, it all starts if we see the engaged Miguel Cabrera. Right. The hitting's always going to be the hitter.
Absolutely. And the Tigers lineup is out. The opening day lineup today is out. Rex Grossman hitting leadoff.
Rex!
Austin Meadows hitting second, playing left
bring
field.
It, lefty. Going deep today.
Batting third and playing shortstop, Javi Baez.
All right, Javi, come on, kid. Debut.
At the cleanup spot is Jamer Candelario. Miguel Cabrera will bat fifth.
Big third,
Jonathan Scope hitting sixth, playing second.
Shoot, Badu.
Akil Badu is batting seventh, hitting seventh and playing center field. Batting eighth, Spencer Torkelson playing first base. And Barnhart doing the catching. He is batting ninth, Gold Glove catcher, by the way. So that is the lineup. And as we said, Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump. They will face Lucas Giolito. And look, I told you we're going to do some geeky stuff from time to time. Javi Baez is a career .455 hitter off of Lucas Giolito, if you guys do want numbers. So there is that. Rex Grossman hitting .227 career off of him. Miguel Cabrera, though, has a couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. Lifetime against Giolito is only hitting .214 against him, however. And Jonathan Scope has a home run. So you want the geeky stuff? That's the geeky stuff. That is the lineup. Here's an interesting one. Gromit 0237. Who still buys a program and keeps score? This guy does. Nobody does that anymore, right?
I will. I'll do it. My mom used to do that all the time and stuff like this, but Maz will. Honestly, though, if Maz and I go to a game, like an afternoon game or something, he'll do it.
Right.
He'll do it, and I'll be beside it or whatever, but it's a dying art. And I think that it was more, too, that reminds me of, like, going to the game with, like, my mom. And, you know, you play Little League Baseball and whatever, the parents always a scorebook, so you learn how to do a scorebook because my mom was a scorebook keeper, so you'd be ask and read them how they all did it. So then when you go to the game, it was like an interactive thing. But it's a dying art. It's a dying art. And to follow up to that, Neal, it wouldn't be the same doing it on your phone, would it?
No.
Right? Like that's like to me that's like a crossword. Who does crosswords on their phone?
People saying you're hyped today, D-Mac.
I am hyped. It's opening day.
It's opening day, man. Yeah, there's no way.
Come on, man. It's the first lineup in the year. What? I can't get all popped up for my home squad? Now I'm getting more excited. Drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, no, it is. It's hype in here. There is no question about that. And, you know, hey, guys, I blew the wings knob ad. That's my apologies. I'll make that one right. Hey, we're out on site, man. Like, that's the way it is. The drinks are flowing. Everybody's having a good time. But the Tigers lineup is out. We've been talking about it. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we'll be joined by Tony Paul of the Detroit News. I understand he has entered the concave. He's somewhere in this mass of humanity. Give the people the shot again. Like, this is it, everybody.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah. We are back, baby.
You know what? And just soak it in. Soak in the atmosphere. You don't know what it's got. Speaking of Rogelio, there he is. What up, Raj?
Yeah.
Tigers exclusive. So we got the whole crew here.
Yeah. David Saye says hello from Kansas. Go Tigers. Jack Harrington says D-Mac is the hype man. You are the hype man. There's no doubt.
Hype man.
There's no doubt about that. But Robert, I just found my fully scored program from when my cousin took me to the Yankees Red Sox game in 1978. That's the last time. I got a feeling there's a lot of that. You know?
Hey, Maz wants a photocopy of that, please.
Yeah.
He'll hang it in his phone.
He certainly does. But
no,
we are rocking it here on Woodward Sports Network. People coming up trying to talk to D-Mac as they always do. You are the people's champion.
I try to be. You know what? And hey, but you know who the people's champion of the city are, and if not down there, let's talk about DCFC, baby.
Real quick.
Real quick, dude. Thank you. I know we did. I can't say it enough. You know, just the hospitality and the way that everything's done down there. It's just first class. It was cool to see Easy, and somebody brought a pizza, and they all looked and said, "Who's paying for it?" And I said, "It's free, boys." And they were like, "Oh!" And I was like, "Yeah, thank Uncle Neal. Thank Uncle Neal for the hook." So, but always a great time. But the Northern Guard, everything like that. I got to do Tetris again, bro. That's my favorite.
Yep.
My favorite. The boys are loving it. So get down, get out there, DCFC. And plus, they're playing good. They're playing good football. And you know what I noticed, Neal, and this is what I wanted to say. And hearing in the crowd, talking to the people about it was getting old that they were leaving at halftime because they were just crushed the competition. They're so happy to have competition now, watching it. There was a free kick early in the first half where the guy, perfect ball, far post, and Nate came out, made a save or whatever like this. But I looked at the fans and they said, that's professional. You know what I mean? That's professional. So these guys are playing hard. And just a quick question about strategy or the format that DCFC. So they play more of the defensive, keep it low, and they want to win the 1-0 game, like stuff like that, and take that opportunity and some chances. So very entertaining. But shout out to the Northern Guard and everybody down there. Keep going down, folks. Keep going down.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, the U.S. Open Cup draw is coming out at noon today, and Detroit City FC is guaranteed to play an MLS team in the next round. So we'll see if it's at Keyworth. Yeah. Well, that's what the draw is going to be. So it'll either be the Columbus Crew. Yeah, it'll either be the Columbus Crew or FC Cincinnati, either at their place or at Keyworth.
Screw the crew. Screw the crew. I'm ready.
No, I know, and a lot of people are ready. So that'll be a good time. When we come back, we will be joined by Tony Paul of the Detroit News. He's fought his way through the crowd, and he has made his way through there. You guys can I call an audible on you guys? Get to the Wingsnob app right now. Is that cool? Let's do it. Neal Ruhl here for Wingsnob, because I was told it takes a snob to know a snob. So I'm here to tell you about the fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wingsnob, the best traditional wings. Try the signature sauce, the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper. They're tossed to perfection in any sauce you choose. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com. Get ready for that opening day lunch rush. Wingsnob, we just have better wings.
Hey, Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Win or lose, it's still a party downtown. Live from the Brass Rail and Music Hall Amphitheater, it's the Detroit home opener with Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty in amongst the people. I knew this was going to happen, so I had to have backup here as we welcome in Tony Paul from the Detroit News. Remember, go to DetroitNews.com. You can subscribe. People still do read the newspaper, you know.
They do.
Yeah, they give you a check and everything, Tony.
So far, they haven't missed one.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe in here, I might miss the next one. We'll see.
No, but happy to have you with us. And Tony, look, you know, we've done the mix right now, and I do want to get your take on on this because you're an old baseball soul, and you know what baseball is in this town. You've known that your entire life. The energy this year, as the kids would say, as my sons would say, Tony, it is hitting different, isn't it?
Oh, it's way different. It's the first time in probably, well, you had the pandemic. Obviously, that took away a lot of it. You know, there was no real opening day in 2020. Last year, there were 8,000 people at the stadium. So you take that out of it. But even just the excitement about the team, it hasn't been this way we're looking at 7-8 years, really. You could go back where, you know, there was really no expectations coming into the year. You look at this year, who knows how they're going to do. Vegas still has them at 78.5, which, by the way, is the third most bet over of all the teams in baseball. So there's a lot of people that believe in this club at least getting to 500 or above. But Vegas still has them down there. It could go either way. We don't know if they're going to contend or fall off. You know, they have bullpen issues. They have a couple other issues. But at least the potential is there for the first time in forever. You got some young kids. If they perform well, you know, Chris Ilitch, love him or hate him, you know, he did spend $250 million this offseason to go get some new talent, fresh talent. So you just look at the lineup, you know, from top to bottom, and it's just night and day different. You have some starting pitching. The bullpen, again, is a concern, but, you know, it's going to be fun to watch. You know, even if they don't make the playoffs, there's going to be reason to watch. It started last year. After the miserable April and early May, they actually were over 500 considerably the rest of the way. It started last year, but now I think you could legitimately expect this team to be on the fringes of contention.
Yeah, and when you look at it too, Tony, you talked about like reasons to watch if it doesn't work out. And look, let's be real. You know this. I know this. The third most bet over in Vegas. ...
Right, exactly.
You know what that means,
well, there's
right?
a reason. I love the over, but there's a reason I don't bet sports. The best people who bet sports, the best of the best, get 53% of their bets right.
Right.
Unless you're a friend of ours who gets 100%. But, you know, I won't bring up the name, but no, that's the thing that has to give you pause. Why is it 78.5? But again, you're going to get to see a full season of Casey Mize. You know, he's got a new windup. He's got a new sinker that's really devastating looking. You get to see Spencer Torkelson. In a month and a half, you're going to get to see Riley Greene. You got some new talent in Baez and Austin Meadows. Even Eduardo Rodriguez today, starting pitcher. So even if they don't contend, I think we can all agree that this is the start of baseball being back in Detroit. It's been a long time. Now, you and I lived through the 90s. It hasn't been that long. You know, people are like, oh, they haven't contended since 14. Well, we went through a decade and a half where they never sniffed 60 wins. So, but it's going to be, at least there's going to be reason to watch. And this is the start of baseball being revived in Detroit. And you can feel it around town, not just here, but all over town.
But you can really feel it here.
You can really feel, I almost had a stroke walking in. You really can feel the buzz around town that the fans are ready to enjoy meaningful baseball again well into the summer.
No, and when you look at it from that perspective, Tony, and D-Mac and I'll kind of get down into the weeds and do the geeky baseball stuff here. For me, there are just a lot of signs, like when you talk about how heavily the over is being bet and that kind of stuff. And the Tigers, in my mind, Tony, as I run this by you, they're almost like a 6-leg parlay where every leg needs to hit for them to be a playoff contender. And the reason I say that is because the AL East is still a thing. And if you're a Tigers fan, it's even more a thing now, given the playoffs the way that it's been restructured. Because don't forget, in this year's playoff setup, to make the playoffs last year, you had to win 91 games in the American League. Like, it's not a joke over there. And I know the Blue Jays, and I miss this, like when Jose Barrios became this 23-game winner and everything like that, and you just pencil him in, for the Cy Young and all that stuff. I missed that update with the Blue Jays, but everyone loves them, and that's fine. The Yankees are the Yankees. They're going to make the moves that are needed. The Red Sox are still good, by the way. And, the Tampa Bay Rays are always there, despite the fact that their pitchers pitch 3 innings at a time, despite the fact nobody ever gives them a chance. A lot of stuff has to go right, Tony.
No love for the Baltimore Orioles?
No, we'll pass on them for right now. They moved the fences back, so when you move the fences, that causes problems. No, but Tony, the moral of the story is so many things have to go right for this Tigers team. I think people are losing sight of that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody out there that's just like, this team's going to the World Series. I don't think that. I would argue that it's more of a 4-team parlay. I think that there's a little bit better chance. 4 teams, by the way, are still hard to hit. 3 is remarkably easy. unless you're playing a 3-team parlay. But I think it's 4. I think there are some things that need to hit. Look, you got bullpen concerns. You got 3 guys that are supposed to be part of your bullpen that are out right now for a couple weeks at least. That could be problematic. They're going to have to weather the storm there. You need Casey Mize to take a step forward. You need Tariq Skubal to take a step forward. You need Matt Manning to be a number 3 or a number 4. And you need Spencer Torkelson and Riley Greene to live up to their potential. They don't need to be MVP candidates this year, but they need to contribute. But you look at the lineup, they have a lineup to compete. They also play in the American League Central, which I would still argue, a lot of people are high on the Twins. They're a little high on the Royals. I don't agree. I think the Tigers are probably that number 2 team that can push the White Sox. White Sox clearly are the team in the Central. But if the Tigers, beat up on these teams, who knows? They could get to that 85, 88 win, which with the extra playoff spot might be good enough. It was good enough in the National League last year. It might be good enough this year. Baseball is a weird sport. You don't know how teams are going to do. There's no guarantees. We've had years. I remember the year 2008 or something. The Tigers were going to score 1,000 runs.
Those are great days.
They scored like 692 or something. I mean, you never know how it's going to work out. But they need a few things to go right, but it's there. They needed a few things to go right in 06. And I would argue this team is better equipped than 06. That team caught lightning in a bottle. I think this team probably top to bottom has a little bit more talent. Now, they don't have a Verlander. They don't have, the 3-4-5 that team had. But they've got a lot of talent, so we'll see. No one thought 06 was possible. It wouldn't shock me to see this team in the playoffs. I don't think they'll win the division, but they could get in.
All right, let's take a couple questions here from our YouTube channel chat thread. The messages coming in fast and furious. Huge viewership numbers here today.
Huge.
As always, appreciate you guys. Well, people want the vibe. They want the feel. Alex, give them the crowd shot one more time, man.
Seriously.
And I'm sorry I'm producing on the fly, Alex. I know you work with other people that if they did it, you'd be all right.
Stay in your lane, Neal. Stay in your lane.
No, but I absolutely hear. What about this? Jack Harrington says the AL East is like the SEC in college football.
Not quite as dominant, but they're probably the cream of the crop because, again, you do have the 4 teams. And you know what? The Tigers used to be in the AL East, and there was talk about maybe going back and reshuffling the divisions where the Tigers could have ended up there. So I think the Tigers are very fortunate they are where they are.
What about this here, Tony? And this will spin into a question for me. Lord on our YouTube chat thread. Casey Mize is a man's man. And my question to you about that, Tony, is what about the inning? When we start talking about playoffs, you're talking about high stress in August and September. Are there innings limits? What conversations have you had with those inside the Tigers organization? Is he like a full go, Tariq Skubal? I mean, because this is what it's going to take to win.
Yeah, I think so. I think the kid gloves are off. Last year coming out of the pandemic, obviously everybody was careful with all their pitching. There might be a little spillover with that. But it wasn't just the rookies that people were careful with last year. They were careful with all pitchers because they didn't pitch much in 2020. So you had to be last year. So, combination of their youth and the fact that nobody pitched in 2020. So I think the kid gloves are off. I think these guys are ready to go. I think you could easily see both of those guys touching 200 innings this year if they stay healthy. And if they do pitch 200 innings, I think they're going to be good. And I think that's going to be a good sign for this team. The kid gloves are off.
All right, well, this has become an Ask Tony segment here on the show, which I'm cool with. Makes my job easy. Gets me closer to 1 o'clock. Harley Fife wants to know any injury update on Spencer Turnbull.
He's probably not going to pitch this year, I don't think. He went down in June, had the surgery last summer. Usually it's an 18-month thing where you start to get into it again. So I would be very surprised to see Spencer this year. They obviously like him. I think he'll be ready for opening day next year. They did sign him to the 2-year deal, so they're counting on 2022 or 2023.
Yeah, I like it, though. I like this. Everyone here is doing my job. I love it. Robert, Tony, thoughts on the strikeout rates for Baez and Grossman? They're high.
Yeah, but that's baseball right now. I mean, baseball is it's become a 3-outcome game. It's home run, strikeout, or walk, right? That's kind of the natural outcomes in baseball today. It started a lot with J.D. Martinez. He was one of the first guys that kind of put an emphasis on that. So they're going to be high, but I'll tell you what, people are going to be very, very excited and happy to watch Javi Baez. I know he's not Carlos Correa. They didn't get the guy they wanted, that you wanted, that I thought they should get. But this guy's very, very good. Defensively, he's phenomenal. He's going to strike out, but he's going to make some plays and hit some home runs that are just going to leave you breathless.
No, and Tony, look, for me...
They got one of the top 5 shortstops in the game.
No, absolutely they did. And he's fun. I like it because he's fun.
Yeah,
he's going to talk.
Exactly. Can we have a little fun. It's not. You think with the commissioner of this sport that you wouldn't be allowed to have any fun.
Right.
But no, you are, and he'll bring that level of enthusiasm, kind of like what Pudge brought in 2004 when he came aboard. You're going to see a lot of that with Baez. This guy's very, very good. I don't think people quite understand just how good he is.
Well, we talk about strikeout rates and everything like that, and certainly there is a lot to that, and they will strike out a lot. But you know what else he's going to do? He's going to pick it at shortstop. And the Tigers were awful at the shortstop position defensively last year.
Yeah, they looked like turning double plays. They looked like me and my buddies out playing beer league softball. It was pathetic. I mean, even like Taylor made double plays, they wouldn't even turn them. It was bad. Now you got him up there. You got Jonathan Scope, who's a fine, decent enough second baseman. But up the middle, I mean, you improved this, right? You build your team up the middle, right? You improved your defense tremendously with Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. Eventually, Riley Greene will be your center fielder. But, and Derek Hill's going to get some reps out there. He's very good defensively. This team's better defensively, the better offensively, and the rotation's better. Question's the bullpen. If the bullpen can get you through April, so that these guys can start coming back. The guy they signed, the lefty. A couple other guys are injured. If you can get through April, weather the storm, which they weren't able to do last year, do that this year, and I think this team will be on their way.
And that's one of my points about all this too. Like the stuff that happened in April last year. If you're going to contend, it cannot happen. Like now, you can't qualify for the playoffs in April.
You can lose it,
but you can lose it, and they lost it last year.
Right. It's like that. It's like the Masters, which we both love dearly. At number 12 on Sunday, you can't win the Masters on that hole, but you sure as hell can lose it.
Right.
As Jordan Spieth knows, as Greg Norman knows, as Freddie Couples knows. All these guys know. So that's the same thing. You're right. April, you got to get through it. And hold your head above water. If they can tread, 500 or so in April, I think they'll be all right if they get these bullpen pieces back. That's the only hole that I see on this team. It's the only hole, so we'll see.
Lastly, here's one for me. Tony D. Neal, what do the Tigers need to worry about with the White Sox? I don't think a lot, Tony, because we know what they are. We know what the book is. They're the heavy favorites to win the division. They're probably going to do as such. What I like is the Tigers kind of followed their blueprint for the most part. Now, they had Miguel Cabrera on the books. There was not much you could do about that, which that's part of it. You don't get the Triple Crowns without the contract. That's the way that works. So I'm one of these people, Tony. There will be no Miguel Cabrera slander, not on my watch, because that guy delivered. But with all that being said,
I could do a half hour on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans are just so down on him.
Yeah.
This guy.
I'm not having it, Tony.
This guy gave you a decade or more than a decade of some of the best baseball you've ever seen.
He gave you a generation of being the best right-handed hitter in the game.
And by the way, as everyone said, I can't believe they paid him through this year, through next year, this bad contract. No one was bitching about that contract at the time. And number two,
that was the market.
And 50 years from now or 100 years from now, when you and I are gone, long gone, there's going to be Miguel Cabrera jerseys being sold at that Comerica Park or wherever the hell they play shop. This thing is, it's going to pay off forever. This guy's going in the Hall of Fame as a Tiger. He's going to hit 3,000 hits, which is going to increase the enthusiasm this summer as well. So, no, I could go on a tangent about that. Miguel Cabrera has earned his contract.
Absolutely.
For what he's done for this organization.
Tony, I appreciate you sliding through right here.
This is a blast, man.
Where does everybody subscribe to the Detroit News?
You can go to DetroitNews.com. I think you can get, 5 years for $1 or whatever our special is right now. No, I think you sign up. I think you get 6 months introductory. For $1. People are like, I can't believe I got to pay for this. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, well, we gave you a 25-year trial run. I think you can cough up $1, but
if you're hype about baseball, though,
if you want the best, I honestly believe this: the best Tiger coverage in town is the Detroit News. I don't think you can get better anywhere. So subscribe. We'll be following this team with the best coverage all year long.
And they cover Detroit City FC unlike another newspaper in the town.
We cover every game of Detroit City FC, and I was supposed to be out there twice this year and haven't made it because of a couple other things that have gone on. But I promise I will be out there and see your booth or where your office is over there.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
Tony Paul of the Detroit News. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They've been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade around the issues of mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. Go to woodwardsports.com. Check out the Sports Marketing Agency podcast. This is the F Word. It's a series on fentanyl, something that's a big-time problem in our communities. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. What's up, Isaac? What's going on, man? Go to thesportsma.com. It's a sports marketing agency.
What do you get when you mix fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken with our savory signature sauces? The best damn wings you've ever had. Wing Snob Traditional Wings. Try our Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. And we toss them to perfection. When your wings are this good, it's easy to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Party like a Detroit party. It's opening day live downtown with Woodward Sports.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty back here in the house. Tony Paul held it down. Appreciate Tony sliding through. And look, we got Alex Westfall here. We got Sam Flannel in the house. He kept it on brand, too. He's got the Debo blue flannel on today. Spencer is here around with the Woodward heavyweights. We've got it all. Isaac Eats has been here before. It's teetering on the brink. I get that feeling. You got the sunglasses on right now. We are on the brink, aren't we?
I went for a lap thanks to our guy, Tony Paul. I will check that on the rewind, the interview, so I don't waste time. But it's starting to get popping in here. Getting turned up, as
if you're an opening day veteran, which I know you are, which I have been too.
Did we get a Debo out of him yet?
What's that?
Did you get a Debo out of him yet?
No, we did. Yeah, we did. We got it. If you're an opening day veteran, you know right about now, as you push towards noon, that's when things take a turn. And you know what I mean when I say things take a turn. Like, we'll just leave it at that.
Turned up in the D, right? This is where everybody's realizing, man, we haven't been out in this while and it's this long. We got Easy up there throwing T-shirts out and stuff, so everybody having a good time.
No, there is no question about that. We are getting it in. And Chuck Brewer says, Neal, you're losing control. No, not yet. Not yet, Chuck. I still have the firm handle of the law.
His yacht is too big to lose control.
A lot of people giving Spencer props in the chat, so we certainly do appreciate that. But we are here. It is popping. We're at Detroit Music Hall downtown. It's action-packed. DJ Godfather is in the house. Can I do that one? We got Jaeger bombs going on for the next 3 minutes. $5 Jaeger bombs next 3 minutes. We should do all that stuff. But we're happy to have everybody here with us here today. So D-Mac, Tony Paul and I got into this discussion a little bit, and we've touched on this in the past. Miguel Cabrera kind of officially, I thought, in the media passed the torch to Spencer Torkelson. And Torkelson's hitting 8th here today, and I know everybody wants everything right now. And look, AJ Hinch said it. He's going to work his way up. Hopefully, if things go well, he will work his way up through that lineup. But that's another reason why I don't want to see Miguel Cabrera slander ever in this town. He is on board. And more than that, D-Mac, and you and I have had deep, in-depth discussions about that. As an athlete, you know
him a very small torch. What Miggy did is he handed him the glove at first base and said, I believe in you, kid. You got my endorsement. Now he's got to do the work. So, in fact, there's a lot of different steps to getting to Miguel Cabrera. You're never going to get to the top level production, I would think, that he has, but it's the baby steps. So I look at it like, he didn't hand him a torch, he handed him his glove at first base and said, it's yours. It's yours now to do with as you will, hopefully it's positive. Hopefully you come in, I will help you any way I can. And then concentrate on being the best DH he can. Obviously, the power numbers aren't what they were, but he's always going to find a way to hit for average. It's always interesting to me because he's such a perennial slow starter, and then he kicks it up. Does that change this year? Every season at the beginning, I'm looking for Miggy to sort of come out a little bit hotter than most because he comes out cold and then just goes on a rip. So I think that they're very self-aware as an organization what Spencer Torkelson is. but it still takes your leader, the king of the castle, the Miguel Cabreras, to hand over his glove and say, hey guys, I believe in him. That's the difference. He's passed it off. Miggy has given his. What do they do in the politics? They give their seal of approval on a candidate or something. That's all Miggy's doing. He's pushing his chips in a torque.
Right, and for me, D-Mac, that's a lot where it is, and I think it's a lot of self-awareness from Miguel Cabrera as well, because D-Mac, you knew when your time was. Nobody knows before you.
No.
Like, no, media doesn't know, fans don't know. Nobody knows before you when it's over.
That's why when you listen to Miguel Cabrera talking about bringing the championship or bringing a winning culture back here, he knows it's probably a 2-year timetable, right? 2-year timetable, seeing what a contract is, and if he can. So I think that you're going to see like a different commitment, more of a tutoring commitment, right? More of working on, Miggy showed me this, Miggy showed me that. Maybe some tricks of the trade, right? How to prepare. And you never know, because when superstars believe in other up-and-coming kids, you look what happens. Look what's going on, the way Dylan Larkin has progressed, but he's sort of Lucas Raymond's been on his right side the whole year. That says something about Dylan Larkin and the development of Raymond. You can't take that away. So hopefully we're saying the same thing about Miggy.
No, absolutely. And, a lot of the Woodward Sports regulars are out here as well. I know Rack made his way out here with his lovely and talented one. And you guys got an opportunity to talk about Oak Island. So I understand there's another
Madison.
Oak Island fan.
Madison, his fiance is an Oak Island fan, so I know, and I know Mama Jan's watching out there. She's Oak Island. We're going to find it. We all believe. We're going to find it, the Lagitas. Yes, there it is, Maddie. You know it. So Ray's shaking his head. He does shake his head. And you know what, everybody? Whatever you picture Ray to look like, he looks like. Exactly. He does. Hey, you know what? I know who I'm calling to shovel my snow with the snowplow. He looks like he's, he could be from up north. I'm heading up to Kalkaska this weekend.
They're not finding anything in Oak Island.
They're finding gold. Oh my gosh, they might even find the Ark of the Covenant.
Felix Blacksley Q says, will you guys please talk about why I should be excited about this season? Thanks. And Felix, I feel as though we've been doing that to some degree, is just kind of giving you the why as to why this Tigers team can be good. And Spencer Torkelson, I think, is a big reason for that. And look, for me with Spencer Torkelson, I just, the reason I'm cautious about it, D-Mac, and the reason I'm tempered about it is because there was nobody who drove the train more. Now, look, I call College Division I baseball for ESPN. I had heard about this guy. I had some friends that worked in the Pac-12 that told me about this guy. And for me, the Spencer Torkelson thing, that was an all-or-nothing proposition for me. When you break Barry Bonds' freshman home run records at Arizona State, I'm in. Well, I don't need to see the footage.
You don't have to be all in, but you got to be ding, ding, alarm. Guardian just called your phone and said, hey, guys, you might want to see this. And him being a first overall pick, to be successful, it doesn't always happen in baseball, but you got to hit with these guys. The true test is in the pitching. Is there development? Can Casey Mize be that number one, move into that Verlander role? Is Scooble, can he be a dominant strikeout left-handed pitcher, right? The book's still out on Matt Manning, but Eduardo Rodriguez starting today, that's a legitimate Major League Baseball pitcher that you want in your lineup. So, again, to me, when we're going to have these conversations, it's how does the bullpen hold up? And in doing that, that goes to how do the starters last to be able to use them in, 40 games. It's a stopwatch. We got the Detroit Tigers stopwatch. Justin, I need a graphic of a stopwatch for 40 games. Here we go. Tiger time, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Braylon Edwards is here in the house. Don't forget the bottom line's coming up from 2 to 4. Braylon's taking about $1 million.
Did he call that a smile?
Yeah.
Was that? Yo, B, that wasn't a smile, bro. That was like a cheese. It was like a... He's got a great smile.
Yeah, he does. Patty Grimes, they find a Detroit Tigers World Series championship on Oak Island?
Maybe a ring. You never know. But you know what? We'll see how further along they are.
Yeah.
The big thing while you were gone, right, is the fact that Alavila came out after they made the Austin Meadows trade and said, Chris Illich said, if you and A.J. Hinch think that this guy it makes a difference, to go out and make a deal, which means that in saying that, it showed me that what we thought was true, and that's a little bit of a backhand to me, Alavila saying, hey, what you guys thought was true, and now, so this should give you some hope about in the draft capital, more so in the draft capital salary cap, but it's about the monies that you're spending, right? In baseball, more it is than it is where you're drafting, because you get 647 rounds. So the whole thing is that it seems that maybe the wallet's been pulled out of the pocket by Chris Illich when it comes to his baseball team. Now it's up to the team on the field to show him that he needs to spend a little bit more, and we can look for that championship. And it won't have to be at Oak Island. It'll be downtown. Comerica Park, Detroit City.
Oh, Walter Briggs, I think Mickey could do well this year, not trying to hit homers. Let's see him have a decent average, drive in some clutch runs, and teach the youth. You know, I think that it was never about, Mickey's said that, it's never been about hitting home runs. Like, it's about contact in the zone.
What'll be interesting, Neal, right, it's contact in the zone and hitting it hard if he's healthy, and if he embraces the DH role, because I don't think he's ever embraced it. Right, what I'm hearing out of him now, and that's the engagement, is the embracement and everything you talk about, helping the younger guys. So if Miguel Cabrera being on the bench, because think about it, you can watch so many different things and help so many different ways. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But the next checkpoint, Neal, is his 3,000 pin. Where are the Tigers at in the season when he gets 3,000? Because if
should be in April sometime.
But if there are no, right, exactly. So that's also the engagement once he gets that behind him, and a team can rally around that, right? Rally around that they know they only had a few years left with me.
Right, absolutely. Well, hey, we've been talking a lot about the Tigers and a lot of the talk, you know, the over, the under, and the wins. Oh, hey, Neal Ruhl here for MyBookie, everybody. If you're a big believer, if you're thinking that, then MyBookie.ag is the play. Right now, sign up, use a promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit up to 50%. You can let that spin at MyBookie.ag. Take the Tigers over 78.5 wins. If you're a believer, show it at MyBookie.ag. Remember, use the promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit up to 50%. Don't forget, too, the Masters going on right now. You like that Tiger action where he's at? Jump on in on that as well. Soccer, Detroit City FC, USL Soccer, that's out there, too. It's all out there for you with MyBookie.ag. Use promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit up to 50%. But anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a gambling problem? Call the Gambling Problem Helpline. 1-800-270-7117.
Took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Win or lose, it's still a party downtown. Live from the Brass Rail and Music Hall Amphitheater, it's the Detroit home opener with Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty. We got Alex Westfall here in the house. It is poppin', and as we said, on opening day, right around this time, about an hour before game time, control seems to get lost. And as we look up the stage, you got DJ Godfather up here. The Woodward heavyweights were up on the stage. If that lets you know what's going on at all, control is beginning to be lost.
And
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. We're here for it. Woodward Sports Network, about the people. I think this is exactly, the vision of what we had, being a part of it, being in the mix of it. I mean, it's so enjoyable. And obviously, with this opening day, and no matter how you feel, what are your thoughts on the Tigers' 76 games is what Vegas is projecting as their wins?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the ultimate tease, right? Like, it's literally right there where I say, I think I would sit this one out, because you can make a case both ways. And I talked about this with Tony Paul. I said, to me, the Tigers in the playoffs, and that's great, right? Like, we can all, and this is where I'll seem negative. So everybody that's like, oh, Neal, you're pessimistic, you're negative. I have reasons, and I'll give you those reasons. And for me, D-Mac, it's not to say they can't get there. And there's so much has to go right. And I talked about this with Tony, the inning situation with Casey Mize and Scooble. That's the one thing for me. To contend for the playoffs, D-Mac, you need high-pressure games throughout September, beginning in August. High pressure, where your starters got to go 6. And I know it's a different era right now in baseball with the starters and stuff like that. High-pressure situations where you have to have sustained success the whole time. And there are so many young guys. And we saw this with the Red Wings, I think. When it got turned up around January, and it did. Like, we look back on it now, and we probably don't remember that time. But when it did get turned up, young guys looked young. Did they not? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And I think
the whole schemes of to your point about what it takes to be successful in the playoffs, right?
And I'm sitting here with a guy that knows. When you were young, and I've asked you this question before, but we can refresh it, and I think that this is universal across all the highest levels. When you're young, D-Mac, it gets real, does it not?
Well, it does, and it's about experience with anything. Think about it. If you haven't experienced it, it's the same thing. You've never hit, the nerves to get on a golf course you haven't played, or nerves of hitting a shot that you're not comfortable with because you haven't practiced. It's the same thing about, it's almost in life. So it's about repetitions and everything else. Tommy Mize
and the 2006 World. All right, what about MPWMU? Neal's the master at pissing in your cornflakes. No, I'm not doing that right now. This is just the way I lean.
I just think that 76 wins, which is under 500 and stuff like so, 76 and 80.
It's realistic, yeah. It's realistic.
It's realistic, and I think that more so the next step for this organization is if they can hit that over this year. That's a big thing. Not whether they make the playoffs, whether they contend, because everything you bring up is so important, right? It's so important. But the fact that if they can get 77, 78 wins, you got to look at it like because of what you said and the experience that these guys gained the first time. That can only help moving forward. So it'll be more interesting to see what is next year. Now, again, it's such a long season, right? And you nailed it. There's so many questions. What are they going to do?
Well, there's so much youth.
So that's why I think that putting the stopwatch on 40 games is pretty fair, because what 40 games takes us into May, June. Like into June, and this, where teams in baseball, who's going to be crappy at the bottom, and who's going to sort of elevate to the top. Or you're going to have the Yankees, the Rays, and the Boston battling it out. But it'll be interesting to see how far they either surprise us or not. I'm looking at them, if they can come out of there around 500, even a couple games under 500, that's not the worst thing.
No, and like I said, that's very much in the realm of possibility. Now for me, and I'll give you some positives, MPWMU, is I was not a Correa. I was not a Correa $300 million guy.
Yeah, but
$300 million guy.
Were you a Correa $30 million, $100 million guy 3 years?
Now that I would have entertained a little bit more, but I was not on that train. You know what I'm saying? So, look, for me, because I think this falls in line with our next one from Felix Blacksley QR. The Tigers going to be bogged down with free agent contracts this year. That's up to the owner. Period, point blank. Tell me if I'm wrong here, D-Mac. Flat out, that is up to ownership.
So, you tell me as draft capital, salary cap guy, that
$128 million on the payroll this year.
Right, which is high, low, medium.
Middle of the road.
Okay, middle of the road. But with what I just saw in an acquisition and handcuffs taken off Alavila making moves, that says that if there's somebody that's going to make this team better quicker, that maybe they're going to at least entertain it. In the past, they might not have entertained it.
Yeah, and so, you look at it too, $84 million on the books for next year. They're in a position where they can go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they can, and you got a big contract that they can afford, or whether it's from guys that are already here or somebody they're going to go out and get. Miggy's coming off in a few years, so there's that money, the 30-some million there, or whatever.
And for me, what I want to see, and I think somebody touched on this to some degree, is what I want to see is this club run, and I forget who it was that put it out there. I want to see this club run independent of Cabrera's contract.
Absolutely.
Cabrera's contract is not, and it goes back to what Tony Paul said. If you want to really go deep analytical on it, Tony Paul said it best. You're going to sell Miguel Cabrera jerseys long after you and I are gone, T-Mac.
No,
they still sell Ty Cobb jerseys.
They still sell Gordie Howe jerseys and stuff like that.
That's always going to go on. So I want to see it run that way. I'm excited because they have built this team the same shadow of what the Red Wings are doing with the rookie control guys right now, where Torkelson and Mize really are the cornerstones of this franchise. And now you have them. Now you go get it. And right before they run into their, unadulterated free agency, you go out in free agency and you drive it home. I just feel like they're not there.
No,
this second they're not there yet.
No, they're not there, but they're closer than we were. And I think in the last month or so, they've taken a giant step, right? At least in my mind, not only being competitive, but also too, will they do what needs to be done when the time is right? I'm more positive on. Oh wow, okay. All these things, it shows that, maybe Chris Sillis does care a little bit more about the Tigers than what everybody perceives.
Right. And our research department, I love leaning on you guys as a research department too. It makes my job easier. CJ, Tigers are 18th in payroll, which middle of the road, which is exactly what they are.
Major League Baseball? 32.
32. Yep.
Okay.
So that's it.
Right. So in saying that, to me that's a positive, because okay, you'll spend, but if you really, hey kid, you really want to win. You know what winning is? You know what? I know what winning is. You know what winning is? Winning is commitment, and sometimes it's putting your money where your mouth is, but at the right time. And it'll be interesting as we see this team play out, the young guys, the contracts, Riley Greene come back with what we have, is who's that's going to be, right? Because right now you can't possibly say who that guy is. Because I don't think it's going to be this year, but it might be next year, right? As soon as that. Maybe I should say it like that, Neal. But it could be as soon as next year.
No, it could be, and that's the situation that the Tigers are in right now with the way that it's played itself out, and the way that they're set up is they're good to go, man. From a youth perspective, they are good to go, and they're going to be there. They are.
Look at all the teams now, right? Even as I asked you beforehand with the Pistons, thank goodness OKC's been helping them out, but it looks like we're going to get the bottom three picks or whatever to get like we wanted in the draft. But you look at the Lions going into the draft, they got a lot of picks, draft capital, stuff like this, the Wings, all these teams, right? And whether you like it or not, it looks like it's being built for the long haul. Now, I'm all for putting all your chips in the middle and trying to win a championship, and then if that hurts you because you went for it and you lost, okay, I can live with that as a fan. But I don't see it happening that way. I think that maybe that's what they tried to do, and especially as Tigers in the past, but haven't been committed. Maybe now is where they get committed because they have all the champagne.
30 teams in Major League Baseball, 32 in the NFL. I got my numbers confused right there. Victor's Valiant. These guys don't know how many teams there are, and they're trying to provide insight. Tell me what was wrong about what I said, Victor's Valiant. Just like I'll tell you that Michigan was 1-2 in real football games last year. That's insight that I can provide.
Sammy Flannel just put his hands up in disgust because that was a shot across the bow. I don't know. Are you allowed to do that on a Debo Friday? Because I don't know. You might lose your bike, punk.
Dude, nobody knows how many teams are in the NHL right now.
32.
Nobody knows how many teams there are anymore, man. Seattle's coming in.
I didn't know baseball. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Nobody knows how many teams there are. Like, I know that people are pumping the drinks down right now, and they're fired up, and everybody is excited. There is no question about it, and we are ready to rock. We're less than an hour away from opening pitch. I do know that. So you have that going for you too, which is very, very big. We gave the lineup out earlier for those of you that missed it. Rex Grossman will bat leadoff for the Tigers. Austin Meadows hitting second. Javi Baez hitting third. Jamer Candelario hitting fourth. And look, that's another reason why I temper some of my expectations. Jamer Candelario's your cleanup hitter. Yeah, and look, I'm I'm not shooting blasphemy at the dude. I'm just saying compare that to a lot of the cleanup hitters.
You're going down the lineup and you're going alert. But you know what? Here it is. New season. We're waiting for it.
I'm not saying the dude's trash or anything like that. What I am saying is, how does that cleanup hitter compare with the dude you're chasing?
Well, he's there for a reason, and you know what? Whether it's you got to produce, because we know that's one of Miggy's spots and stuff like this. But I trust in AJ Hinch. I always say trust in the GMs and stuff. I trust in AJ Hinch. So I like the lineup that we're putting out. The one guy we're going to look forward to is Akil Baddoo, too.
Did I say Rex Grossman instead of Robbie Grossman? Did I really say that? Hey, he started a Super Bowl. You got to give Rex Grossman some credit for starting a Super Bowl.
The Grossmans. I mean, hey, see, it's getting turned up. Listen.
We are out of Jameson, I'm saying.
It is. There it is. There it is.
I'm just saying we are. But hey, it's nothing that a little workout can't fix. When you go to Planet Fitness, you're in the judgment-free zone where you can work on a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts at just $10 a month. The Black Card is an option as well. $22.99 per month, less than $1 per day. Get you the use of the unlimited tanning, all the amenities as well, and access to over 2,000 locations worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. You're going to pass two of them on the way home. So pull in the parking lot. Sign up. PlanetFitness.com. Any way you want to do it, you can do it. Now open in Midtown Detroit at the Pistons Performance Center. Right now, $0 down, $10 a month. It's Planet Fitness for your fitness, D-Mac.
Your fitness is essential.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Win or lose, it's still a party downtown. Live from the Brass Rail and Music Hall Amphitheater, it's the Detroit home opener with Woodward Sports.
Hey, welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports. That's what kind of day it is, man. We're out here right now. Stick's got the microphone in his hand over there. He's hyping this whole place up.
Hey,
it's out of control.
You were wrong. I don't know if you did the poll or the survey, but it seems that people that are at work are not doing the work.
I'm not being productive right now.
Why would you be? It's opening day. I mean, can anybody have fun? It's an office party.
Yeah.
You just let everybody in on it.
Oh, here we go. Steve on our YouTube chat thread. Detroit City FC will host the third round U.S. Open Cup match against the Columbus Crew.
Screw the crew, screw the crew, I told you, I put it into existence. Let's go. We got to be down there. When's the date?
I haven't seen the date yet, so I'll get that information.
But we're coming down. Party, party, party. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't give the Northern Guard time to prepare either. That's a lot of time to prepare.
No. Jack Harrington says, Neal, you could be a DJ. I was a DJ back in a younger time.
What was your DJ handle?
I didn't have one. I just spun the songs, man. That was all that I did. Yeah, so everybody's fired up. Detroit City FC hosting Columbus Crew out of the MLS. Hey, Alex, you're with us. We'll produce on the fly. You want me to do the big boy copy? Let's do it. Why not? Because it is Friday, and the Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy with a Friday night seafood buffet. If you were down here at opening day, you're loaded up a little bit, slide on through Big Boy. You still want to hold up that Catholic end of the bargain, you can do it during Lent with the Seafood Buffet. It goes until April 24th. Catch it while you can. Fish fry, fish and chips, popcorn, shrimp, the perch available as well, an all-new fish sandwich, and it's all available at participating Big Boy locations. So slide on through there on a Friday during Lent. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty here in the house. We got Alex Westfall. We got Sam Flannel here with the Debo Blue Flannel. Drinks are flowing. It's getting hype. It is packed up in here right now. We are at the Detroit Music Hall, and happy to have you with us. And yeah, it's popping, D-Mac. We will just say it like that. But we are talking Detroit Tigers. And, again, just for me, the generalities, it is being kind of a downer and things like that. I'm really bummed out about Riley Greene with the fracture in the foot. And I listened to a podcast where they had some kind of foot doctors on there talking about it. They said, think about them, because it sounds really bad, right? Like a fracture of the foot. They said, think of it like a cracked dish, where you kind of put the glue in there and clamp it back together, and then over the course of a couple weeks, your dish is good to go. And that's what the story is with Riley Greene. But I'm bummed, because I was expecting him to be a contender for Rookie of the Year. I really was.
He just keeps putting up numbers. I talk about what a swing he's got and stuff, and it's just sort of bad break. But something that I think what's important, especially when you're younger, is make sure it heals up so it doesn't linger. So once he finally gets out on the field, he's out there for a long time. So, yeah, I'm bummed. I was ready to get my Riley Greene jersey, watch him control the outfield. But again, that's what happens in sports. It's not the first injury we're going to be talking about this year. So yeah, it is a little bumming, because another duo coming up. Just like with the Raymond and Sider with the Wings. So something that we're just going to put on the burner. And that's right, again, back to AJ Hicks. You're not going to put him in when he's not ready. So.
And then that's really what the story is. Theo 99, Neal is super negative. Look, I'm not being negative, man. I'm taking this with an ounce of. And look, I'm fired up too, man. I'm happy they're relevant. Like, they're relevant for a change.
They want you to be doing the the beer bogs and stuff, and you're sipping the beer. You're sipping the beer. Come on, man.
Yeah, and look, they're on the right track.
Cautious and asking, the right things and all this stuff.
But that's why, again, though, D-Mac, along that same path, like how I've been with the Lions this year, how I was with the Red Wings, I think there's a very similar path. There's almost a symmetry of the way all the teams in the city are right now. And I'm not going to be crushed if they're not in the mix for the playoffs, if some things don't go right, the entire season. If they're not there at the end, I'm not going to be crushed about it, because I just don't think that they're there quite yet. Now, they are in a position to where they can make themselves at any given moment. And again, this hinges on the ownership saying, okay, drop the hammer.
But we got to see what we're away first. How some of these new guys, some of these young guys, what we're away, because it's important not to spend the money, it's important how you spend it. So I believe that when that time is right, and with all our teams, it's a little bit more long-term. I know we want it now, but it's long-term, even to get that sudden success, even if it is to mortgage the futures in one of the sports teams, to get to the finals, to win a championship. Nobody's there yet to have that conversation. So wait and see, and it starts with opening day downtown Detroit, which we are now.
we are. 9 drinks. It's great to have Neal back. Well, my guy, it's good to be back as well. Happy to have with everybody. DMAP Zoom. Neal's just a realist, just like me. He lives in reality, and no, I appreciate that, because that is where it is. They are poised. Make no mistake, they are poised. A lot like the Red Wings are poised. A lot like, I think, especially if a ping pong ball falls the right way again, the Pistons are very poised. I think the Lions are this whole city is poised, man.
The city's poised. In a couple years, it's going to be making laps of these teams downtown. And I think, you bring up a good point, is that how much closer the Pistons might be to being able to make that move to put them right into the mix. Right, so all these teams have options. It's sort of like they're playing a long poker game. It's a session. It's not just a hand. So everybody's maneuvering their chips. But the thing is, there's all in different ways, and in similar ways, there's all the parity. There's parity going on, right, to all the teams. You can say, okay, these two teams are similar in this way. Oh, all three are similar because they got the young guys. Oh, well, they got more draft capital. The thing is, in this town, too, you look at all the teams, they're good on the books. Right? On the books, they're good where you look, across to other teams. And I think that then it goes back to who's in charge and who's making the calls on what they do with the accountant. Who's the accountant?
Yeah.
Right?
And the guys, look, too, like, Wendy Espinosa, the Tigers are making the playoffs this year. Bet it. Hey, Wendy, live your best life, man. Like, it's opening day. That's the time for all this. And again, we're in the best opening day city in America. That's a fact. That's not opinion. I've been to 25 of these, man. Like, I've been coming. I got my driver's license in March, and then I skipped school. I skipped high school and came down to opening day, back in the mid-'90s. Like, that's, I'm a veteran of all this, man. This is where those conversations live and where that hope lives. And look, I'm here for it. Wendy, I'm not here to piss in anybody's cornflakes or anything like that. It's just D-Mac's fired up. I am fired up. These people are fired up. But, there are some things. There are a lot of things that has to happen. And that's just the bottom line. And, hey, there's all these cool things that we can talk about, and certainly we're going to. And, one of those exciting things is how are things going to shake out for Casey Mize? And this is, again...
Is that the biggest question mark?
Well, that depends on what your answer is. Do you want to make the playoffs? All right, here's to Wendy out there who says they're going to make the playoffs. Then yes, Casey Mize is your biggest question mark, D-Mac. Because now let's recreate this, D-Mac. So you got to win around 90 games to make the playoffs, because the AL East is a thing. As someone called it earlier, the SEC of Major League Baseball. So you got to win around 90 games. You're going to need 18 to 20 from your guy, right? Right?
No, or somebody else has to step up, or the crew's got to step up. But I think, it's more of a spotlight to see, the durability, but what you do have in moving forward. Not even just to winning, but again, it goes down to what we said. I believe the bullpen's the biggest question mark, but for the long term, what you have moving forward. I think that what we're seeing in the development of Skubal, as far as his strikeout velocity, his pitching or whatever, he's that pitcher. Can he control the ball to keep it in the ballpark? Right? That's his biggest thing. But he's got a power arm and everything else. Durability of Casey Mize is what we're looking at, because why? Because he's supposed to be the next coming to Justin Verlander. So he's getting every opportunity to be that. And if he can be, then we're good.
Right. Doughboy Steve says got to have two starters with 20 wins or around 20 wins. And that you have to have that if you're going to win 90 games.
Here's the one. Can you not say that when it comes to this Tigers organization, they've had pitchers through this thing. They've had pitchers. Now, whether they've re-signed, traded them, whatever like this. But the fact that if you're talking about culture, you're talking whatever, Detroit is an organization I would look to for starting pitching who's coming through there, right?
Right.
So that makes me think that at least 2 out of the 3, Mize, Manning, Skubal, are going to hit. Right now it looks like more of a Mize, Skubal, but now it's to get to that next level. Now okay, congratulations, you're a big boy. Now you're going to put your big boy pants on. Now you're going to put your big boy boots on. Now you're going to do some big boy work. That's what we're waiting to find out.
Yeah, and that's where it is. YT Smarty says, well, at least it isn't raining or snowing. So there you go. We got that going for us. That's pretty good. Jack Harrington says, Neal, Boston and New York are better opening day cities than Detroit. That's a negative.
No.
That's a negative.
They nail it in. Absolutely not.
And the thing for me is, when you go back even through the leanest of times, it's been like this every single year.
It always is, man. How about you don't even, like old Tiger Stadium was even down over with Nemo's, and if anybody who's listening is not familiar with downtown Detroit, so we're sort of in the stadium district where we have Comerica Park, which is next door to Ford Field, which is across the street, kitty corner to Little Caesars Arena, right? Tiger Stadium would have been in its own spot, probably less than like about a mile away in the city, but there's a whole different bar atmospheres, left, right, you get into Corktown, you get into everywhere else. It's a lot different culture, and it's more of what it is this is more of the city, and that still has more of a feel of a little bit residential stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you get more tailgate, more stuff like that.
And that's where it is too, because I think in Detroit, you have a very big faction of people that aren't even going to end up going to the game. They're just down here for the scene, the tailgating, like you talked about. You don't get that in New York. You don't get that in Boston.
No, you can't park anywhere. Right? That's the thing. I mean, that's the thing you miss the most at Lions game is at least hitting the pregame at Easter Market or whatever, but even just come downtown. You come down to the city, Saturdays for Easter Market for all the farm stuff, and then you come down on a Sunday for a tailgate. It's just a blast.
No, it absolutely is. Motown Cool says, I need a bourbon and a cigar, but this desk and computer are in the way. Well, again, we have the YouTube chat poll up there. What percentage of work are you getting done at work today? 0% or 0%? We'll see what the results are as the show goes on, but we do appreciate you guys tapping in with us here. And Alex, I have to call another audible on you here, ad-wise. We got to get the chili peppers in there, man, because I'm ineffective at my job today. I'm not as good as some of the other people you work with, Alex. That's just the way that it is. My apologies to you. But I can tell you about Chili Peppers Tanning. Cleanest salons in the D. Spotless sanitized rooms. Trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club. They'll beat all the competitors' prices by $5. Don't forget the Australian Gold Designer Skin, Cal Tan, Spencer's favorite, Swedish Beauty Lotions available as well. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deal, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations. More on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com today.
Full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
Ain't no party like a Detroit party. It's opening day live downtown with Woodward Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy. Here's D-Mac for Fulling Warehouse.
Oh, we're talking about DCFC getting to play some big games, screw the crew and everything. You know where it starts. It starts every day. Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Host your corporate parties, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. 2 ways to play, $10 unlimited open play, stay the whole time. They're open. Or the private lane reservation, $120 up to 10 people for 2 hours. 100 beers. You've heard of the $2 mystery machine, the $4 craft bougie stuff. You can bring food, you can get delivered in. If you could leave an hour before the game, if you want to be part of the greatest walk into Hamtramck Keyworth Stadium, check it in at the Fulling Warehouse. Everybody down there is awesome. Go to FullingWarehouse.com and tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Oh, absolutely. But we are here at Detroit Music Hall. We're downtown across the street from Comerica Park. We got everybody here from Woodward Sports in the house. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty here with you. We got Alex Westfall, our special substitute here on the ones and twos. It's a Friday Debo Flannel edition for Sam Flannel. He is here. He is fired up. We are happy to have everybody along for the ride. And D-Map Zoom says DJ going crazy with the set list. It's banging out here, D-Mac.
Turned up. Turn it up.
Yeah, absolutely. But we are happy to have all you guys along for the ride. And we're talking Detroit Tigers, bottom line. By the way, if there's something you guys want to talk about, if you're watching on YouTube, drop it in there. We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. Anything that you guys want. And, the Austin Meadows thing certainly made some headlines for the Detroit Tigers. Very sly move, I thought, that they made. And, for me, D-Mac, and I can't remember who it was on the YouTube chat thread again. I'm running low right now, too. I can't remember who it was, so my memory might not be as good. Austin Meadows actually got an MVP vote last year. That's not nothing.
That's not
nothing.
No, that's, I thought that when this trade was made and stuff like this, what a good play. And you know what? Because here's the thing. If Paredes, yes, he could be a great player. It's something that was like you had a piece that you weren't going to use or couldn't figure out how to use in Paredes. They had a piece in Meadows that they couldn't figure out how to use, and you figured out how to benefit, and this could be a win-win for both. But I think this could be a big win for the Tigers. What have we always been needing? We need that left-handed power hitter, right? Take it over the wall, in right field and stuff like this, and I think he can provide the power. Now, which is the true Austin Meadows? Is it the 230 guys? Is it the 290? Well, it's something in the middle, but he's definitely a 25, 90 RBI guy, and I think that if you're getting that production out of him, And to be able to plug in the Riley Greene miss early, right away, and sort of not miss a beat going into opening day, I think that's a testament to what the Tigers think they have.
Well, and it puts you, too, in a position where Robbie, don't call me Rex Grossman, is a guy that, you know, he was a good player, I thought, last year for the Tigers. Is he something, now if things don't work out the way you want him to.
He's the motor in there, bro.
Yeah.
He's their motor.
Well, and if things don't go the way you want him to, you're in a position where he becomes a trade chip.
He's definitely an asset to somebody else.
Sure. So, I mean, there you have
a few guys on here.
Yeah.
So.
Or you can keep, you know, whatever you want to do, you have some versatility
I
available
like the
to you.
fact that they were able to pivot and it doesn't affect going into opening day, because the minute Riley Greene went down, you're like, oh man, okay, you know, Haas can play and stuff like this, but you sort of, whether there's a buzz, there's still some buzz about signing, you know, a new guy, having a new guy in the lineup, and especially a guy who comes with some power.
Yep.
I don't care who you are, you like when some guy with some power comes into your lineup, because, you know, maybe you can get one of those home run balls.
Jack Harrington, Adam is in the background. Yeah, he was grinding too just a couple minutes ago. That's the way that opening day has it on there.
He just crawled out from under the table. He had to have a nap. He was up early.
He did. Theo 99, and there's always a couple of these guys. Theo 99, wins is not a good metric for pitchers. Okay, and I forgot that we have to qualify this. Okay, Theo, for that crowd, for the metrics elite. And look, I'm a metrics guy. Like, when you come up to bat, you either get on base or you get out. There's only two outcomes. You either get on base or you get out. That's it. So I'm a big on-base percentage guy, on-base plus slugging, you know, OPS. I'm big into all that too. But all right, Theo, I'll give it to you. The Tigers need to win 20-plus games when Casey Mize starts the game. Is that better? Is that acceptable? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still the same, right? You have to win games that he starts. I don't care if he gets a win or not.
Now he's being a hater.
Yeah. No, I'm not being a hater.
Right. No. I said now you're being like that's. But that's
I'm being snooty to the analytics guys.
Yeah, but in context, right? To bring that in context. But yeah, every time you got to be able to go and look at that lineup and know when Casey Mize is on the hill that, you know what, 3 out of 5 times he's going to win. Or,
right.
You know, 3 out of 4. It's just the same thing we look at.
The team will win when he starts.
He's got to compare with the number 1 guys in the playoff contending teams. Where are their wins at? Where and who? See, that's how you can compare. Is where is he with, you know, some of the best in the league that, especially that you're going against.
Right.
So that if you're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, keep up with the best that are playoff teams, add them up. Oh man, you might be a playoff team too.
Right. And Chuck says it doesn't matter if he's 10-9 or 1-0, but they need 20 games won. And that's when I say that. Now, hey, that's on me, Theo. My apologies. I do appreciate you watching. I appreciate you jumping in, and I always read your thoughts, man. No matter what you say, they need to win 20-plus games on the occasions that Casey Mize starts the game. It sounds just easier to say he needs 20 wins.
He's on the bump.
You know, but however you break it down. But see, like, these are the things that we're kind of constructing right now, and D-Max, you're feeling this playlist, aren't you?
I'm ready to get this season underway.
No, absolutely. And no, right, you know, and that's where we are. We're gonna stop for a couple seconds on the lines, and don't worry, Monday we're gonna pick that back up, and we'll get it going. But you know, we're talking Tigers here today, and it's opening day, and everybody's fired up, and you should be, because for the first time in forever, you know, to quote Frozen, you know, for the first time in forever, people are hyped up, and you can see it here.
From Tupac to Frozen, you got levels, bro. From Tupac to Frozen.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just was on a road trip with the kids, so you know, like we did get our Frozen contingent. You know, we did get our Frozen contingent going on. So you know,
I'm sure that a lot of people out there that can understand that.
Yeah. Clomp Sauce wants to know, D-Mac, did you grow up a Tigers fan too? Which?
Diehard. Lance Parrish, man, was my guy. He's a bigger Tiger fan than I was a Wings fan because they were better. You know, right. 84 Tigers, Kirk Gibson, right field. But yeah, I wanted to be Lance Parrish till I figured out I couldn't hit a curveball and I was better at punching people in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. More YouTube comments here. CJ Schneider. Where did this one come from? Oh, Victor's Valiant. Please explain FIP and Woba, please. I mean, fielding independent pitching is just basically your pitching. And look, your FIP struggles when you have the shortstops that the Tigers had last year, i.e. when the people are making the mistakes behind you or don't have the range to get the baseballs, you're penalized for that. This is something this year where you're going to see an uptick in that, just given the fact that Baez is here playing a shortstop, playing a clean shortstop, and not only that, playing a clean shortstop, has range and gets to balls.
Well, that's one aspect of Javi Baez, and I think that's important. And you go back to spending $300 million on Carter's career or whatever, where he chose to go to the Twins, but Javi Baez and the money he gave him at the deal gives him an opportunity for a new life and a new lease on life too, and to be a part of something and build it. Now, don't forget, this kid has a championship and has part of that Joe Madden culture and stuff in Chicago, so hopefully that bleeds over too. And here's the one thing with Javi Baez, right? And how old is he? 26, 27?
He's a little bit older than that.
Whatever it is, but trust me, we could see some maturity out of him. I think it's about the time in his career where that maturity level comes, right? Because we've seen immaturity out of him in the past. So maybe this is a new start.
He's 29 today.
20? Oh, is his birthday today?
No, 29 as of we sit right now.
That was good.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. So I'm looking, maybe there's more maturity with this security of the contract and the lead, and you know what? It'll be interesting to see if him and Miguel Cabrera have a relationship, or if something strikes to that, because then you're bringing in that championship culture learned in Chicago into somewhere. Miggy had it in Miami or Florida early on with the Marlins, but not here in Detroit. And then so close. So you don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff too. But the range and the arm, that's a bonus.
And it is. And look, for as I've been cast as being negative here today, the biggest thing for me, where I'm at, is what they did defensively through the middle of the field. When you look at what they've done too, just in terms of Barnhart at the catcher's position, that's a Gold Glove catcher. Baez is a Gold Glove caliber shortstop. They were a beer league softball team at the shortstop position last year. That's a fact.
Well, they were a beer league softball team in defense a lot of times.
In general, yeah.
So I think that
I'm not talking about D-Mac's softball team that he rolled in with a bunch of ringers in our beer league. It was doing that kind of stuff. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about a real beer league.
Shout out to Baruga.
Buster, you guys rolling in with that.
It don't matter. That was back in the day. I've matured since then. Maybe Javi Baez can mature also. But yeah, that's the whole thing. And because of that, it's like goaltending. When you're confident in your defense behind you, that gives you the confidence to pitch better. And a lot of times the pitching better is being fearless to your strengths, right? And challenging guys and stuff like this. And if I know that I can throw it inside, as hard as I can, and if a guy gets around on it, he's going to hit a shot between shortstop and third, but I got my shortstop that's cheating that way, and that kid has got a gun. So I think his arms, he's got a low-key rocket, right? We've seen it on display. So hopefully he gives all our pitchers confidence, not just Casey Mize.
Chuck says, folks kind of missed Neal's point. The Tigers 1, 2, and 3 starters need to find ways to beat the other team's 1, 2, and 3s. And that's, things shrink. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to a higher level, things shrink. And it is that simple. That is exactly kind of the point I was making. Where as we sit here in April and people are dancing up on stage and the drinks are flowing, and we got, Spencer's over here with his powerful hydration drink because he's been over here getting it in all morning long. He's trying to get back to good now.
He's trying to get back to good.
Show him the hydration drink. Here it is. See, this is a pro, folks. He's got to keep hydrated. That's what it is. So there you go. So Spencer's doing it right. But that's my point. Like today, when you're Spencer, you're fired up, and you're going to win the World Series and stuff like that. But when you start breaking this stuff down, that's where it is. The 1, 2, and 3s, they got to beat the elites of the league. At some point, you have to.
40. Stopwatch, 40.
I mean, at some point, you have to. Victor's Valiant has a good question that I think we're going to talk about during the next segment. But hey, speaking of opening day, speaking of trying to stay hydrated, what about Gypsy Vodka, huh? Well, 50 different formulas. countless taste tests, but Gypsy Vodka is the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market today. It's gluten-free. It's corn distilled 6 times. It uses artesian spring water. Support local guys from right here in the state of Michigan. Try a bottle today. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. And look, Gypsy tonight, or if you guys are out here right now, hey, just drink responsibly.
And we listen. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Win or lose, it's still a party downtown. Live from the Brass Rail and Music Hall Amphitheater, it's the Detroit home opener with Woodward Sports.
Hey, yo, welcome back in. A Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. D-Mac. Some people out here on the way home are going to need a guardian, aren't they?
Oh, they are going to need guardian. The guardian alarm gets it no matter what. They're actually out here, out and about. You never know where they are, but whether you need it for a home or residential, you got it. I tell you every time. You know, they were telling me when we came in here, you know, security, the guardian alarm is around, but whether it's your temperature, whether it's your lights, no matter what it is, house is on fire, that silently deadly killer, carbon monoxide. So, Sammy, that people more than ever need the guardian alarm today. So give them the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Give it to them again, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Get out of the house. We're keeping the Depot Street alive with the flannels. I love it. Guardian alarm, your local security experts here at Woodward Sports Network.
Absolutely. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty back with you. Big D Energy, opening day, downtown Detroit at the Detroit Music Hall right across the street from Comerica Park. Drinks are flowing, DJ's playing, everybody's hyped, and we're in the building, and we are certainly having a good time here today. Happy to have you all with us on an opening day, and we're getting it in, everybody. Let's just say it like that. But, you know, I like to let you guys program the show as much as we do because, you know, in order to keep people entertained, you want to talk about what they want to talk about. So Victor's Valiant had a great question here. Who will have the better career, Spencer Torkelson or Riley Greene? And D-Mac, for me, I honestly believe that Riley Greene is going to be a star. Yeah, he's going to be a star in Major League Baseball.
You know what? He's got a Bryce Harper-ish to him, star.
Just the look, even the look.
The hair, the swing. I think that it's Riley Greene, but you know I think they both could. I think right now whoever you chose is too early to tell, obviously, because they haven't played a game. But you know, I think that legitimately Greene could be your, and I don't take this for this guy, but he could be your Detroit Tiger Al Kaline, you know, in the outfield for 10, 12, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? If the new baseball is that way, but I expect big things out of him. I think he's going to be more consistent, right? If that's what makes him better, I think that's what it is.
I think that you have the capability with Riley Greene to have a complete toolbox.
Yeah.
You know, the average, the power, the speed, the fielding, all of it. Now, Torkelson's going to be more your prototypical first baseman. You know, we talked about beer league softball guy, and I don't want to limit him by saying beer league softball guy, but he is going to hit about 280. And, you know, top end, he'll be that upper 30 home run guy with 110, 120 RBIs, and you like that because you need that. There is no question about that. But I think that Riley Greene can be more of the Tupac player. How do you want it? You know, and he can do a little bit of everything. And it is exciting. He is exciting. And again, just going deeper and being a little more geeky about it, for me, the consistency of what he did going up through the minors, and it didn't matter what level it was at. He was consistently great everywhere he went. There were struggles at times, but it always leveled itself out in the
there
end.
were adjustments.
Right.
What the best players do, the guys around, is that they try it, it might not work, but their work ethic, and they keep plugging away at it because they know where they want to get to, right? It's different. You know, I equate to him, what does he look like because of how he's progressed? He looks like that goal scorer. He looks like the Lucas Raymond production guys, you know, can Lucas Raymond be consistent with his production, you know, moving forward? I believe that he can, but Riley Greene's got that ability with the 5 tool to play it any way you want it. You know, you need a home run, here you go. You need somebody to you know, hit it to the right side to move a runner over. Hey, coach, I'm the guy to do it. Like, he's a ball player.
No
you know,
doubt.
we got like a ball player through and through. This is what he's meant to do.
As opposed to a home run hitter.
Right. That's
like,
where that's more to where Torque is now with power. He's more ball player. And some of these ball players, like Mike Trout's a ball player. He's got home run power. You know what I'm saying? Like Bryce Harper, he hits dogs, but he's a ball player. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Akil Baddoo, he's a ball player. Working on, you know, something other tools and stuff like this. So, I like it, man.
No, I like it too. And right now, Alex Westphal, our producer, is kind of showing you the dual shot with the crowd and what's going on. And you know, it's a lot of people in our YouTube chat thread right now talking about, guys, remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Hydrate, get the food, get all that stuff as well. So yeah, all those things are in play. But it is great to see everybody out here. But we're talking right now, who's going to be tops right now? Make the call. Torkelson, Riley Greene. It's just, for me, I think Riley Greene is going to be dynamic. And it comes full circle, right? Because D-Mac, am I a guy that gets shaded as being negative sometimes? Yeah, I mean, I guess I do. It's because I like to base things in reality. But with all that being said, and I've done this on this show, I have to come clean, because when Riley Greene was the pick, I was unimpressed. And, you know, high school outfielder, seems like the frame's a little small. Yeah, you know what and you know, he is 6'3". Seems like the frame is small.
Is he 6'3"?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have never thought that.
Yeah, you know, but with all that being said, the multi-tool skill set is something that's never going to go out of style in baseball. And with what he's done in the minors, just to reiterate it, he's hit every level he's been, and there's something to that. And there's something to that where he has that look of somebody who's not going to be rattled, who looks like he can handle it.
Well, here's the whole thing, right? He's only stepped up and proven that what's been put in front of him, and they keep having to serve him dishes. So he's got to get healthy, get back at it. But I think he's going to be successful, right? Because he's got to figure it out. There's going to be growing pains in there. See it with all great young players, but he's going to work his way through it. He has at every level, and I think he's going to be consistent doing that.
No, absolutely. And people saying here it doesn't feel the same without Tammy. Tammy was here. Yeah. We took the pictures.
Tammy was here because that's why I started on her phone. So.
Yeah, Tammy absolutely was here. So that was great to see Tammy. So don't worry, guys. She's still out here.
5 likes.
Yeah, she's still out here representing. And Robert says, my dad was a scout with the Giants, visiting parents to see how big they are to gauge potential for future growth. Is a big deal. No, and I get that, and that's why a scout's a scout, and I'm just a dude that sits here on a microphone every so often.
2 turntables and a microphone.
2 turntables and a microphone. No, I do. I understand all that. And just, I didn't see it with them. But again, I mean, how much high school games do you break down? How often were you breaking down Riley Greene, his high school career and things like that? You know, I was not.
Well, I like.
And I was wrong.
But here's the thing. It's like the progression. You nailed it. Neal, it wasn't like here he is, you know, opening day, skipped everything. He's his prodigal son. No. He's done the work at every level. Same with Torkelson. You look at his numbers, he's put the work in. They both struggled at times, but they found themselves through. And I think just, you know, even in the development of them, it's come a little bit quicker, right? I think at the end of before the Mize man and Scoobles, they brought them up. You know, like you mentioned about pitch count, innings and stuff like that. There's still something where there's still a little bit of a caution to it. You know, there'll be caution to these guys too, because it's all about confidence. But if they can you have Miguel Cabrera in their ears, you have all the guys around them, you have the Javi Baez, it's just a good group. Plus, then you have AJ Hinch. Let's not forget that.
No, you do, and he's the best. In my opinion, he's the best manager of the game. And it's funny how quickly the whole Houston Astros thing and all that. There you go. I'll help you out. There we go. It's funny how quickly the whole Houston Astros thing went away. When it's your guy, it's different.
He checks every Friday.
Yeah.
That's it. Of course you're on Kathy. Of course it is. Look at Neal going.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget me. Remember this face?
Give it up. Woodward Sports Payroll in the building.
Everybody cheers the payroll.
They're always going to get the hands. Snoil OG, go Tigers. That's absolutely well said. Go Tigers, man. The juice is here in the building. We've talked a lot about payroll. We've talked a lot about money. We have.
Oh, yeah, we have. Oh, how about 100 G's, $100,000? Yeah, you know what? The whole Lady Jane's front office crew headquarters is down here enjoying Detroit. They want to let me tell you that next time you go into a Lady Jane's to ask that beautiful stylist, not only for the King's treatment and the haircut, but also, hey, how do I get into the draw to win $100,000? Yes, Lady Jane's giving away $100,000. So get to any of their local Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You walk in anytime you relax, you watch your favorite team play before you know your hair will be game ready. So make sure you get over there, sign in, sign up, walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Ain't no party like a Detroit party. It's opening day live downtown with Woodward Sports.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty here in the house. We got Alex Westfall, we got Sam Flannel. He's got the Devo Blue flannel on here today, but we are wrapping things up. We talked a lot of Detroit Tigers, wall-to-wall Detroit Tigers. Did mix in a little bit of Detroit City FC. By the way, the U.S. Open Cup draw has dropped. Detroit City FC will host Columbus Crew. Yes, that Columbus Crew of the MLS at Keyworth Stadium, so it's going down for real. I don't think they know what they're walking into as far as that goes, so we will see how that all shakes out. And, just kind of wrapping the things up right now. D-Mac, we've talked about this symmetry with the city and everything that's going on and the energy and the juice, and the Pistons are playing at home tonight, and Cade Cunningham, the grip he has on this town, certainly Riley Greene and Spencer Torkelson, and I know he's an offensive lineman, so it's not sexy, but Penei Sewell also, we know what the deal is with the Red Wings youngsters as well, probably a Calder Trophy in the very near future.
Should be
coming up for one of those.
Happen,
But D-Mac, it's amazing what happens when you draft well, isn't it?
That's the whole thing, I mean, if I knew somebody in this town, or if I had somebody that I knew that preached or would bring up the conversation of draft capital or salary cap, or you know anybody? You. That's what you preach all the time.
Because that's
exactly
the way you win.
What it is now. But here's the thing. It's not a pipe dream. When we can't see it in front of us and other teams are doing it, we don't want to believe it or whatever like that because we're going to believe. Now, what we're talking about is here, right? Everything is here in front of it. You put the pieces out for all the different teams. Like we said before, there's lots of chips. These teams are accumulating chips for the poker game, right? And with the Lions, no matter what they're going to do, they have options.
Right.
And it goes back to the same point that I always make. It's who's in charge and stuff like this. But to your point that you always said, until you can accumulate that chest. And you know what? The big thing that you pointed out to me is what Steve Eisman does to other teams because they don't have salary cap room. Now he milk some other draft pick or whatever like that. that's a huge part of that game. That's like not knowing how to check race. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, that's like not having a arsenal in your belt. So, I mean, that's unique too. So, yeah, we're coming up on it. It's getting closer. Opening day's here. So what do we got? Three weeks?
Yeah, it's getting down. It's getting down to the mix, man. April, April and October, man.
You know,
that's where it's at.
This feels like April in the D again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just for a day. April in the D for a day.
Right, absolutely. So, it's, again, no, the baseline of all this with everybody that's involved with the Tigers, the Pistons, the Red Wings, and the Lions, when you draft well, you can win. You can win games. All you got to do is draft well. And that's the moral of this entire story. All these people in this tent, the draft going down, and we're going to hammer it for the next 3 weeks. We'll talk draft 24 hours a day on Woodward Sports, I'm sure. That's what it is. It's not a secret, guys. It's never been a secret. It's always been about the draft. And finally, there are people in a position that can pull the right trigger and draft the right players. And here we are, D-Mac. You feel the juice.
It is. You can feel the juice. You feel the vibe, right? It starts with this team. It's going to start even more with the Lions. It's going to start, even to the Pistons. The juice, and it'll go through every draft. And it might not be a whole bunch of new people, but they're paying attention. It's, hey, how's this add to what we have here? Oh, who are they going out and getting? Because you know what it is, right? You're not skipping this class because you like the teacher, right? Anybody like that in high school? I went to English class for a point because I love my English teacher because I learned so much. So that the whole thing is that they ain't skipping class now, so people pay more attention. Now our opinions are opinions, which direction we go. But I like the teachers of each class that we have, and that's the guys running the show behind the curtains of all our sports teams.
Absolutely. We're a couple minutes away from the opening pitch right across the street. And,
First pitch of the game. Fastball down the pipe, off speed, outside corner ball, strike. That's the first pitch of the game.
Dictates a whole season.
Does it play into that? You know what? I don't keep track, but I always think that.
No.
Eduardo Rodriguez. Inside corner, strike one.
Well, here's the thing. Like, with Rodriguez, it's a pretty high whip. I'm just saying, there's a pretty high whip there for the
Neal saying ball one.
Yeah. That's what the numbers say.
I wonder. We have to go to mybookie.com to see what the.
We absolutely will. But again, the lineup's out there. I gave it earlier. Robbie Grossman will be leading off. Austin Meadows hitting second, playing left field. Batting third. Javi Baez playing shortstop. Jamer Candelario batting cleanup here today. Miguel Cabrera batting fifth, the designated hitter. Jonathan Scope batting sixth, playing second base. Akil Badu batting seventh, playing center field. Spencer Torkelson, the rookie. Lots of eyeballs on him here today. He's batting eighth and playing first base. And, of course, Barnhart, the Gold Glove catcher, doing the catching here today. Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump. They'll be squaring up with Lucas Giolito. The White Sox a heavy favorite to win the division. But the thing I like about it most, D-Mac, is we're jumping right into this, right? We got all that playoff energy, that contender energy. This counts. You're playing the White Sox, it counts even more.
Oh, well, here you go.
No, this is real. Right off the bat, it's real.
At the end of the day, no matter when it is, this is a team that you're going to have to dominate or go through to get to the promised land. So why not start now? And they don't go away. They play us tough. They got one of the toughest stadiums to play in, so start it out right now. Let's get her going.
No, and it's for real, folks.
Last question, do you think maybe to put Jamer in the 4, maybe the 5, that gives Jamer some protection to see some pitches?
I'm at the point right now with it where I'm going to need to see someone other than Jamer Candelario be in the 4 hitter. I am. Whether that's Austin Meadows, whether
I believe that might be where Meadows will end up.
I hope
with his power and stuff. So.
But we'll see. And this is look, that's the old school. That's the old school way of thinking, where position and where you're at in the lineup and all that kind of stuff. Such a huge deal. It's not as much as it was, but for me, that's the bottom line. Is I'm going to need a different cleanup hitter than Jamer Candelario. Again, not being a hater, everybody calm down. Not being a hater, I'm here for it, man. We're here. Good show, D-Mac.
Good show, bud.
Great to be back, brother.
Good to have you back. Have a good weekend. I'll be up in Kalkaska, Mr. Chainsaw Pro.
Yeah, Alex Westfall, good job. Also Sam Flannel as well. And the Woodward crew here, real talk, they were out here early this morning getting all this set up. I just show up and do the show, man. They do all the hard part. Shout out to the Woodward Sports crew for getting everything set up. Shout out to Music Hall Detroit here downtown. And you guys that were watching and all these people here. We are back, baby. Opening day is back. Baseball is back in Detroit. Tigers baseball coming up. And don't forget the bottom line, 2 to 4 right here. WoodwardSports.com. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Well, see you later.